Welcome back to the Beyond the Overtake podcast, where we will be doing the Mexican Grand Prix race review. First of all, we will be looking at our predictions and what we got right and what we got wrong.
So for quali, we had some interesting predictions. We predicted George Russell third, Lando Norris second, and Max Verstappen on pole. But, that didn't really turn out. Max Verstappen ended up fifth, I think.
Yeah.
Norris was on pole by a lot. And actually, it was Ferraris 2 and 3.
Yeah, well...
Hamilton and Leclerc?
Yeah.
Or Leclerc and Hamilton? You did say...
I did say Charles Leclerc
You said
P3.
Charles.
I said Max P1, Lando P2 and Charles P3.
Our race predictions, we had Max winning by a lot. We had Lando having... You had Lando having a terrible start. Losing all his places. And then we said Leclerc's going to make up a position.
Yeah, in reality, it was Lando P1, Charles P2 and Max P3.
Lando was ahead by a long shot. We'll talk about Charles' race first. So what do you think of it?
So there was a slightly dodgy start going off the track.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that a bit later. But then, the Ferrari have the problem of lifting coasting every 5 seconds. So literally from only a few laps in, you could see Lando had such a big gap to Leclerc.
Yeah, I mean, with a Ferrari P2, Lando just had such an easy race.
Yeah, it was. He just had to get through turn one, and that was pretty much, the first few turns, and that was pretty much it. And then he was gone. And Charles is actually a bit lucky he didn't lose out to Max at the end as well, because of the VSC. But we'll talk about that a bit later. For Max's race, I actually think he had minus his dodgy start, I think he had a pretty good recovery. His last stint on the softs was actually so good. It was.
I think that was really impressive on how long he went on the softs and how he kept the pace up the whole time.
I agree.
Because very few drivers can do it for that long.
His lap times were really, really good all those times.
Yeah.
I think he was a bit unfortunate with the VSC, but then some people could say it's justified because of the start with Lewis and the controversy of all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Max, he had a very good race. He drove very well, and
minus his crazy dive bombs, cutting the corners and stuff. But other than that, I thought it was fine. And then for Lando, I think this was definitely the championship swing for him, which is he'll be happy by 1 point.
Yeah, talking about the championship, what is going on with Oscar Piastri?
I don't know what's going on with Piastri.
I think...
he did show signs of his old self again with he had a really nice start with George Russell.
Ahead of the two Mercedes was good.
I thought that race was good. And to be honest, if you can say the logic of the VSC didn't go there, he would have got Behrman, but... it's always if... Exactly. I don't know. He needs to refine his old self, because when you think about it as well, he was really good. He was the mentality guy. He would be winning the races at the start of the season. Yeah, he was under no pressure.
Exactly. He could do everything perfectly.
That makes the main difference. So, but now Lando Norris is actually he doesn't really feel the pressure if you think about it. He's doing a really good job, and I think he somewhat deserves to be in the lead. But should we talk about the race start of the Mexican GP?
So, I'm not putting anyone solely...
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not blaming anyone for that start. It was very crazy. Everyone tried to go for the lead. Max,
I agree,
Lewis, Charles, Lando, all were four-side. And the person I'm most annoyed with about that start is the FIA.
Yeah,
I am incredibly...
I can agree with
that.
You could hear the other guys just saying on the radio, are they going to do anything about the people who overtook turn one?
Yeah.
Because I think for Ferrari, I don't think Leclerc really helped Hamilton, because first of all, he blocked Hamilton off. And then, second of all, Hamilton was in... I think Hamilton was in front of Leclerc before the corner.
Yeah, I think Leclerc should have had to give it back.
And I think, honestly, we could say without that drama, Hamilton would have been... He could have had a chance at Norris. I don't think he would, but he would have had a chance of being second. But then, because of that, he gets let down to put where Verstappen is, and then he has the battle of Verstappen. But Verstappen's start was extremely chaotic.
Yeah.
He did really well to not keep it in the wall.
Yeah, like when he was on the grass, it was very close to the wall.
It was pretty crazy, but I mean, that's what you get going 4 wide at Mexico turn 1.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of.
There was also the was a Liam Lawson incident.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that as well. What with the marshals?
Yeah. What? How are they not? How are they putting a VSC at the Carlos Sainz incident, but not they?
Exactly.
Like this is a risk to human safety.
Yeah, you can see all the accidents. So like.
Yeah, you can't take risks for it. The marshals are volunteers.
Yeah, exactly. So I just think it wasn't.
That's completely stupid.
I don't think it's Lawson's fault. I think they're really just trying to get him. I think he was definitely freaked out more than they were, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not Lawson's fault at all.
It's not. I don't know, because they didn't even show that on the coverage, you know.
Yeah.
I was like,
I didn't see it or anything, and then I just saw like after the race. It was, it's unbelievable.
It's a bit bad.
I think it's. I mean, I'm just blaming the FIA for that.
I think the FIA's had a bit of a stinker this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've had it for the past 20 years.
Exactly. Speaking of the VSC of Sainz, do you think it was a VSC? Because a lot of people, especially Verstappen fans, are quite annoyed that.
I mean,
he didn't get the shot. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if he did get Leclerc in the end, but.
I guess the VSC. The thing with that is. It could have been nothing. It also could have been a safety car if the car was, because it was still on track at one point at that time.
But to be fair, Sainz did pretty fast. Like
he did
to get it out of the way.
He did do it very well to get out of the way. So.
Yeah. So, but then and it came out quite late, to be honest. But still, like for being a Leclerc fan, I was very happy.
Yeah, I was relieved watching
I was like, yes, I can't believe it, because to be honest, I was annoyed with Verstappen and Hamilton. Well, Verstappen on Hamilton.
Speaking of, do you think the penalty on Lewis was fair?
No. Okay, no. I would say the rule is the rule for the rejoining the track, but there's also context where you have to say that Max shouldn't have been ahead of Lewis in the first place.
Yeah, I mean...
One, he makes a crazy dive bomb and they make contact.
And it forces Lewis off the track.
Yeah, and then he goes off and cuts the corner himself. So that's one, like, you can't do that. Like,
like Max... If Lewis is getting a penalty, so should Max.
Yeah.
And even as someone who wants Max to win the championship...
Yeah, exactly.
If we're looking at the rules, then Max should have got a penalty.
You've seen last year in Mexico, he got like 20 seconds, and he's doing like the same thing.
Yeah,
like, I don't understand what's changed here. But and then when Lewis locks up and goes off the road, I mean that rule is a rule, but
look at that escape road. That isn't a tiny.
That is also the dumbest escape road I've ever seen in my life.
So small.
But still, it's like. The context behind it is that it's not fair.
I think Lewis already had an advantage.
Why?
Like before the turn, I feel like it was he didn't even gain 2. He gained like 1 or 2 seconds off it.
Yeah.
So it was not a just.
And then with that allowed Behrman to take her.
Yeah.
Which I was very glad about. You know,
I'm not complaining about Behrman.
The next Ferrari world champion. Maybe.
Not if Leclerc has anything to say for it.
Well, as soon as Hamilton decides to bin off, it's Behrman's time to shine. Mercedes had a...
the George Russell with his engineers.
And he was like,
he's like, I've got a car up my ass.
You know the thing in Abu Dhabi when he's talking about Max, he's like, anything
does not go his way.
He was talking about himself.
Yeah.
That's what he was really talking about.
He lashes out.
Exactly. I mean, to be fair, he was panicking, and Piastri, despite him not being in the best form, he was still able to pull out a ridiculous overtake.
No matter what state Piastri is in, he's still in the fastest car, and he's a more than capable driver.
Yeah.
So, I think, Russell was definitely afraid of the overtake possibility, and also...
And he did give the position back as well.
Yeah, he did. And Kimi was very fast to ask for the position back.
Yeah.
As soon as he realised Russell couldn't catch it, he said, let's invert the positions now.
and to be fair, they did, so it was fair enough.
Yeah, I would say Mercedes probably should have swapped it earlier.
If they would swapped it earlier, I think there would have been more of a chance for George to catch up.
Yeah, I think...
I mean...
Because George also burnt out his tyres by the end.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, should we compare our predictions to what actually was? So, for our best driver and worst driver, our best driver, we said Max, and our worst driver, we said Gabriel Bortoleto. Now that did not happen
That
because
did not happen.
Gabriel Bortoleto got points
And Max also was not the best driver.
Max was not the best driver, but he had a good recovery.
He had a good recovery, but his quali was a bit...
Yeah. To be honest, you have to give... In this situation, you really have to give the best driver to Lando.
Or Behrman.
Or Behrman, but there's another category we're forgetting about.
Yeah,
which will go to Behrman. But for best driver, I went Lando.
Yeah, I would say it was Lando. Worst driver,
I'm actually not too sure.
Worst driver, I would say maybe Liam Lawson. Although that is very harsh.
It was...
It's harsh because of what, it wasn't really his fault what happened.
Yeah, I agree.
So, worst driver, maybe, I think I'd say Isaac Hadjar.
You know what, Isaac Hadjar was pretty disappointing.
Yeah, considering how good he's been the whole year.
He went out in what?
It's the worst.
Where did he go out?
He was out in like
Am I
Q2.
blind?
He was out in...
he was in Q3.
Well, I mean, he made it to Q3.
Okay, to be fair, that is a pretty disappointing fall from, 9th to 13th, I think.
And also so many cars DNFing.
That is also, yeah, exactly. With 4 cars DNFing, like, I mean, I thought that was pretty disappointing. And then for our predictions for best team and worst team, we went the best team was Ferrari, which is okay. It's not that far off because Ferrari 2-3 in quali.
Yeah, to be fair, they were probably the best team.
I think so. And then we went worst team McLaren, which...
Well,
I mean,
this is...
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was because Oscar did manage to get a good recovery drive.
I definitely...
I'd say the worst team this weekend was Racing Bulls.
I agree. I was going to say Racing Bulls
because they've had a lot of good results this year.
Yeah.
But this was not one of them.
This was poor.
Neither of them got points, and it was just...
You could also argue, you could say the best team was Haas.
You could say that.
With Ocon in points as well. So
yeah, you definitely could say that.
We're gonna... I'll decide what I put. I might just put both in the end. And then we have our king of the midfield and our moment of the race. So... You predicted Carlos Sainz.
We predicted
which
Carlos
did not
Sainz.
happen. Well,
but to be fair, he did have a very good quali.
Yeah.
But then he had the grid penalty from the race before in Austin. But I wouldn't really judge his race because of that. Because that was last week. It's done and dusted.
Yeah.
So.
And then we put our moment of the race, or what we predicted was going to happen. We said Hülkenberg wasn't going to have a crash. He did DNF, but that was
not a crash.
Yeah, that's not a crash.
The moment of the race was probably between Lewis and Max. Definitely. All their battles was pretty much. And then I think the king of the midfield is pretty obvious going to be Behrman. It was definitely.
Behrman drove a really good race. He took the opportunity. He saw the opportunity and he took it. He got both Russell and Verstappen. I thought he did a really good job, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I would give it to him, Yeah, so let's do our driver ratings. First up, obviously we got our winner, Lando. I think it has to be a 10.
Yeah, I agree. I put 10 as well.
Yeah.
For Oscar, I think quali was not the best, but towards the end, like halfway point from the race, he actually started doing pretty well.
Yeah, but I think over the whole weekend, it was slightly above average performance from him. So I gave him a 7.
I'm also giving him a 7. For Max, I'm giving him an 8 because of the recovery drive, even though he had a bit of dodgy moments which took off the 2 points for me.
I think for me it was... I gave Max a 9 because of how impressive he was. Soft tyres stint was incredible.
Yeah,
he
I agree.
Had so much pace the whole time and on so many laps and catching shoals by that close.
Yeah.
Only to be let down because of the VSC, which was...
Unfortunate for him. For George, I put 6 because he had a little bit of messing around with team orders and stuff, and then he did get dive-bombed by Piastri. So
yeah, I gave George a 7 because his quali was pretty good. It was P4, and his driving was probably quite it was solid.
Yeah.
He did get a bit unfortunate with the whole Kimi incident.
Yeah, I think if they let him by early.
Which wasn't really his fault.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
For Charles, I gave him an 8. I think It's pretty self-explanatory. Good quality, good race in the end.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I gave him a 9 because...
I only take it off because of his gap to Lando and his race start.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
That's the only
But I feel like Charles is definitely outperforming the Ferrari.
Yeah, definitely.
Like what?
I mean, and you could argue Lewis as well.
Yeah, Lewis is definitely as well.
You gave him a 9, Leclerc.
Yeah, I gave Leclerc a 9.
Okay.
Because what he's doing in that car this year is incredible.
That's fair.
Because the SF25 is awful.
Lewis Hamilton, I gave him an 8 because I thought he had a good race. I think he's unfortunate with some penalties and stuff.
Yeah, I give him an 8 too. The penalties are not fair.
I don't think
it was very weird.
Yeah.
And it was just a bit...
For Antonelli, I actually thought... I did predict Mercedes weren't going to do that bad, but I gave him a 7.
Yeah, I gave him a 7 too. He beat his teammate.
Yeah, he beat George.
He beat George, and he just drove a very good race. He didn't do anything stupid. And
yeah. What did you put for Albon? I put 5.
For Albon, I put 6 because he was on a very bad strategy with the hard tyres.
I only gave him that because of his strategy, but then he did well to like drive through it.
Yeah, he managed to get through the strategy and actually went up quite a few places. And then next is
Nico Hülkenberg. I mean, to be honest, you kind of have to just give him average. 5
yeah, I gave him a 6
because of his like. Unfortunate.
It was yeah. The car is not good.
Yeah, I agree.
Terrible.
I think we for Hadjar gave him a 4 because he went from 9th to 13th with 4 DNFs as well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty.
I gave him a 5.
I thought that was not the best.
It's not a good performance compared to his like Zanvo. Obviously, it's not his. It's not his standard.
Carlos Sainz, I gave him a 6. I mean, he had a good quality-ish. I mean, he was ahead of Piastri, but then he got the grid penalty, but I think it just the mistake at the end really just summed it all up.
Well, I'm giving Sainz a 6 too because he got 2 like dodgy pit lane, which wasn't even his fault because the car was broken,
which is not good.
Yeah, I mean that was not his fault. He didn't drive terribly for either session, so. I think I'm giving him a 6.
I gave Fernando Alonso a 7, but I don't think that's right. I'm going to give him 5.
I mean, he had a very average race.
To be fair, he gets screwed over with everyone cutting the corners. Yeah,
I gave him a 6 because it was just a very average race for him.
Behrman,
so there's not a lot to say.
He's my 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, he's my 10 out of 10 too.
I just thought he did well.
He drove amazingly. He managed to find a good overtake that he could do on both Max and Lewis. Well, and not George, really Lewis, but George.
Yeah. And
he managed to keep the position.
Yeah.
It was a very good drive from him.
I agree. Stroll. I gave him average 5 again.
I did not see. I have to be honest. I did not see him at all throughout the race.
I didn't see. I actually want to know where did he start this race? Quali, he was 19th. So he did make up positions.
He did make up positions,
and then he finished 14th. So he made up 5 positions.
But that's only one position with all the DNFs.
That is true.
That's only one.
That is also true. But then I guess he didn't crash, so that's why he gave average.
Yeah, like it goes like to finish first. He has to finish.
For Liam Lawson, I give him a 4 because of his crash on lap 1.
Yeah, I gave him a 5. He just couldn't do a lot.
And he just DNF'd. So.
His quality wasn't great, and it just wasn't enough.
For Esteban Ocon, I gave him a 9. Because I think he did a good job with that Haas, which to be honest is pretty good, but also not. I don't know. Sometimes it's not as fast as the others, but then this weekend I think he really did well, and he got points.
Yeah, so. I gave Ocon an 8. He started P11, made up a few places, and he was just a very calm drive.
Yeah,
he didn't actually cause a terrorist attack for once. So it's good for Ocon.
And then Yuki, I gave him a 7. He was just outside the points, but then
he got messed over with like a 12-second pit stop or something. It was so stupid.
I think he was quite unfortunate.
He was very unlucky with it.
I think, to be fair, Red Bull's strategy was was not it. Like you could hear GP on the thing. Are we on a 1-stop or a 2-stop? Is it?
I mean,
Max, like,
I guess they worked for Max.
I mean,
but that's only because Max can drive.
Max is Max, exactly. Yeah,
he can drive crazily.
So then Gasly, I gave him average 5. I
gave him a 6.
I didn't see much.
The Alpine is so bad.
It's really bad.
It's undrivable for both drivers, and it's just terrible.
It's really bad. Then Bortoletto, the guy you put as worst driver, got points.
He did get points, but that was only because of...
That is true, but I give him an 8.
Yeah, I gave him a 7.
For driving in the Sauber, and to be fair, he was the one only Sauber there, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, I gave him a 7. It was a decent race from him.
And then for Franco Colapinto, I gave him the same as Gasly, a 5.
Yeah, I gave Colapinto a 6, because it was a very... Thank you for listening to the Beyond the Overtake podcast. We will be back next week for the Brazilian Grand Prix predictions.